Hello and welcome, and congratulations for getting this far. It is quite an accomplishment and something that most people don't get to, a level of time mastery. And even though you may feel like, wow, I've really mastered all of these things and I'm feeling so much different about what I'm accomplishing and how I'm accomplishing it and when I'm accomplishing it, there's always going to be a level of momentum that you are required to contribute to have time mastery momentum. Maximizing your time and having true time freedom is the goal of your continuous work. Even though you may feel like you've gotten to this level of time mastery where things are flowing more easily in your life and you're moving along the path to having more support and getting more things done and being in a better relationship with your time, it is ongoing work. So I want you to be able to come back to these exercises and these practices so that you can continue your momentum as you go along the journey. Everything that you've learned is going to be in service to you continuing to be in a great relationship with your time and being able to time warp and to maximize your time and to manifest faster and to feel supported. But as you go along, you may find that you're going to tweak things some. So the rituals and the exercises that you are doing will take on a different energy because you're a different person. So honor who you are and where you are, and don't make yourself wrong if you slip back or you take a practice off of the table and don't practice it and then realize, oh my gosh, I stopped doing X, and then all of a sudden you find yourself in a pickle or you find yourself struggling with time again. These practices and these exercises are always things that you can come back to because they're in service to you. Again, they are a tool that are to be in service to you. So for example, I and many of my clients have done this where the calendar exercise, you do it in the beginning and you get this great awareness around where your time leaks are and how you're wasting time or what have you. And so if you find yourself going back to a little bit of spinning, you'll never go back to the beginning, I can assure you of that, but you might find yourself where a certain project or a certain deadline or a bunch of unexpected things happen, the monkey wrench things that throw you into a tailspin, and your fastest way back to being in reality with the present moment and to being in integrity with yourself and to cultivating that self-belief and that self-trust are the tools that are going to have you getting back into a place of feeling really good about how you're spending your time and what's getting done and what's not getting done. I have found that one of the biggest game changers for me is when I travel. And when I travel and I come home, traveling always expands your mindset. It expands your perspective. And so when you come home, things that were once tolerable can sometimes become very intolerable. And you may have these quick minute decisions about like, I'm not doing this ever again, or I'm not having things happen like this ever again, or I need to hire this person, or I need to hire that person. So the practices that you've learned really are practices that you want to take with you in your everyday experiences. Typically when I travel, I will jot down ideas for when I get home about like, I need this level of support, or I need to hire this person, or I'm no longer available to do this task or that task. You can literally go throughout your day thinking to yourself, who else could be doing this? Or if you've done a project and you might not be hiring someone on for that project to contribute to whatever product or service it is that you do provide, that you can be thinking long term. And it can be really inspiring to even get on the phone with, what would it be like if I hired a project manager or a launch strategist or a product supervisor or a manager of my team? And talking to the person will, just in that alone, will give you great inspiring ideas for how you might be managing your life and your business down the road when you're at X level of success. So after you identify where it is that you want to be in a year, then you get to think about, wow, long term, what does that support look like? Who do I need to have in place for that? And what kinds of positions would that look like? And you can begin masterminding about it, or even asking the question on the question and answer calls of like, Rebecca, I see myself down here at some point. Who would I even think to have on my team, so that you're thinking long term? When I first became single, I literally had a personal assistant and someone to cut my lawn. And I was thinking about, who else would I bring on as I continue to make more money and expand both personally and professionally? And you want to think like that because it's lending itself to that becoming your reality. And I thought I would like to have a personal chef, and I would like to have a gardener, and all of these different kinds of people that I knew that I wanted to have, so that I wasn't the one out there weeding, or I wasn't the one trying to like figure out what I was going to have for dinner for my children and I. And it really was exciting to meet those milestones. So you can have these support milestones, like when you reach this level, you're going to have this level of support. And again, coming back to if you do travel regularly, to have an awareness around what is intolerable or what is no longer something that you want to pursue or have in your life. And you get to come home and you get to make those decisions and say, from here on out, this is how I'm going to operate with my time. Or from here on out, this is a task that I'm no longer available to do. And just having that daily self-awareness and jotting down the who else could be doing this, or do I really enjoy doing this myself? There might be things that you've done in your life or in your business that you once really thoroughly enjoyed, and like 2 years down the road, you might not want to do that anymore. And that's okay. It's okay for you to say what you do and don't want to do any longer, or how you want to spend your time and what you're available to do task-wise. In fact, it's really important that you do that. Your job is to really identify, what are you so uniquely brilliant at? And as you grow personally and professionally, that's going to change. And I have always said that when I get to a place in my business where all I'm doing is coaching, speaking, training, and mentoring, I will be so, so happy. And I've gotten myself to that place where I don't have to think about all of these other things. I literally can delegate to the other people. And what happens when I do that, the more that I do that, the more I can show up in my unique brilliance and shine and give from this really rich, filled up place. And that is what you are meant for too. Regardless of whether you're providing a product or service, or just showing up in your relationships, you're going to be showing up so much differently when you get these time issues mastered and you really continue the practice on a daily basis that lends itself to you being in a place of peace and stability and calmness and femininity and power, that has you being able to show up in any situation from a place of filled up energy and inspired energy, excited energy, because energy is contagious and you are responsible for the energy that you bring to each and every situation for yourself and for other people. And my intention is always that I show up from a place of integrity and honesty and authenticity, and that I give massive value in every exchange that I have with another person, whether that's in my business or in my personal life. And that is what truly fulfills me. And I'm able to do that more and more because I continue to polish and hone and delegate and get the support that I need to really be in my zone of genius and have the people around me doing the things that I need in order to show up to be that woman and to get the self-care and to schedule it or have my assistant schedule it, so that that also contributes to me showing up as the powerful feminine leader that I am. I want this for you as well. I know that you can receive this, and you might even already feel like you're there right now. And I am so incredibly proud of your commitment to yourself and your commitment to how you show up in the world. And I truly know that it will have an impact on everyone and everything around you, changing for the better.